The doctor said it without hesitation. He never even glanced my way. His eyes were fixed on my daughter instead. She sat perched on the edge of the examination table, her legs swinging, absent-mindedly scratching her arms. The bites were angry red, swollen, clustered tightly. I had similar marks. My wife didn't. That seemed strange, but I brushed it off as nothing more than a detail to mention later on the drive home. The room smelled sharply of antiseptic and something heavier, fear. "Who did you go camping with?" the doctor asked, scanning the chart again. "My wife," I replied, feeling like I was stepping into oncoming traffic. He paused, then lowered his voice. "Go to the police immediately." There was a silence. I didn't move. Didn't even breathe. His gaze stayed locked on my daughter, not me, at least not at first. I tried telling myself he was being cautious, maybe overreacting, ticks, infections, rabies, some rare insect-borne illness. Stories you hear. But I'd seen the way his eyes darkened, how tightly he gripped his pen every time she scratched her arm, how he avoided looking at me once he'd spoken, like he didn't want to see my face after delivering the news. Since we returned, something had been gnawing at me. A strange scent I couldn't identify, pine, mildew, and something else lurking beneath. My wife had been different in the woods. Too calm. She slept early, never scratched, avoided the lake, claiming it was too cold. Yet she smiled more, watching me and our daughter like we were actors in a play she'd already seen, and was ready to end. Then came the phone call. She stepped outside, whispered a quick conversation. When I asked who it was, she said wrong number, but it sounded too smooth, too practiced. I began with her phone. Not when she was home. She always took it with her, but I knew her schedule. Yoga on Tuesdays, groceries on Thursdays. One morning I stayed home, pretending to go to work, sat in the driveway until she left, waited 10 minutes, then let myself in. The phone was unlocked. She never thought she needed to hide anything from me. Buried deep in her gallery was a folder hidden under recipes. No recipes, just photos. Some were normal. Campfire moments, our daughter mid-laugh, me carrying her on my back. But then there were others I hadn't seen before. A tall bearded man, his face blurred or cropped out, the same campsite in the background. Same week, but not us. My wife on his lap, laughing, the tent zipped behind them, her hand resting on his stomach. Another showed him holding our daughter. Too casually, too familiarly, as if it wasn't the first time. At first, I felt nothing, just a cold numbness. I closed the phone and returned it to where it had been. Then I made another appointment, not with the police but with the lab. The results arrived in a plain white envelope. No logo, no name, just cold numbers that wiped away everything. 99.98% exclusion probability. I read it 3 times, each time slower than the last. Our daughter, my daughter, wasn't mine by biology. Yet in every other way she was. She had my heartbeat, my laugh, held my hand like it was her anchor. But the truth couldn't be denied. My wife had betrayed me, again and again. That night, I made her tea and sat across from her, sliding the envelope over the table. She didn't open it right away, just stared as if it were ticking down time. When she finally read it, her breath caught. Not panic, no screams, just a flicker of defeat. "I was going to tell you," she whispered. I said nothing. She reached for my hand. I pulled it away. No shouting, no throwing cups, no begging that would give her power. Instead, I let the silence tighten like a noose before speaking the truth. I went to the hospital. They saw the bites. Told me to go to the police. Her face went pale. "They were bed bug bites," she croaked, confused. I let the words settle. Bed bugs. Infestation level. But only in 1/10 hours. She shook her head. "That's not true." The doctor asked who we camped with, said it was rare unless you'd been in a contaminated place shared with others. I leaned in, letting my words cut through the tension. "He thought you were a trafficker." She gasped. "The man in the photos, the one holding our daughter." Her hand flew to her mouth. "I know who he is. I followed him. Got his address. You were with him 3 nights ago." Tears started, but I wasn't done. I stood, took the envelope back. "You don't get to explain. Not to me. Not to her." "What are you going to do?" Her voice cracked. I looked her in the eye, flat and final. I'm going to the police. Just like the doctor said. That night, I filed for emergency custody. I didn't sleep. I didn't cry. There's a strange peace that follows devastation. The stillness after a storm. The next morning, I watched my daughter sleep, curled against me, her fingers wrapped around mine. She didn't understand yet. But one day she would. And when she did, she would understand that I never left her behind. I chose her, even when her own mother did not. As for the woman in the kitchen, she is like a ghost, gone from my life, buried beneath deceit, fleeting nights in hotels, and the company of strangers. She believed she held the power, thinking I wouldn't notice or uncover the truth. But she forgot who I truly am, and soon the world will forget her too. Let her try to convince a judge. Let her desperately claw at the truth as it destroys her from within. I won't raise my voice. I've already won. She just hasn't seen it yet.